this is Steve Ridgel, and I'm going to tell you the tragedy I had on my walk with my wife the other morning. We were about halfway through our walk, and I looked down on my wrist, and I did not have my Fitbit watch on. I wasn't counting my steps. She has some kind of goal. I think it's 10,000 steps every day that we're supposed to walk, and we were halfway through a 3-mile walk, and I didn't have any way to count my steps. Now, I got back and told her I was taking a guess at 13,100, and she just laughed. But I did lose about 6,000 or 7,000 steps that I would have had on that walk. You know, it's funny when I thought about it because I still got the same benefits. I was getting the exercise. I was out in the fresh air. It was early, so I was getting a big start on the day. But because I couldn't count, it kind of threw me off, and it got me to thinking sometimes about how churches fall into that trap. Sometimes we think numbers are the real measure of what's happening. How many people are on our roll? How many people are coming to church? How many baptisms? And I know numbers can sometimes be important, but if you're not careful, numbers can be real misleading. In fact, I'm not so sure sometimes we shouldn't even count numbers. Now, you're going to say, but Jesus did, and yes, he did. They fed about 5,000. On Pentecost, they baptized about 3,000. So numbers do matter in some ways, but boy, I've seen so many elderships who say, maybe we ought to talk to our preacher. What's wrong? We've gone from 500 to 400 or 100 to 70. And that must be a real problem. Well, maybe. Or it may be that all of a sudden you started raising the expectations for your members, and instead of just show up, pay up, shut up, you were actually saying, get out there in your world and make a difference. And they didn't want to, and so they went somewhere that doesn't have quite as high a demand. Or lower numbers may indicate a problem. But here's the problem when we only focus on the numbers. You miss so much. Well, how much are people giving? Well, look at the contribution, except that doesn't really measure how much your people are giving. That doesn't count the things they give to people in their own personal lives they see, and things they buy for people and ways they help. So I just want to tell you, not having my Fitbit kind of threw me off, but it really didn't change anything. I still got all the benefits, so maybe don't stress quite as much about the numbers, because it may be a false sense of security, or it may even be a false sense of doom. Maybe we just go about the Lord's work and let him worry about the numbers. This is Steve Ridgel telling you I do have it on now.